How did we just save NDIS thousands of dollars by doing just 7 simple wheelchair adjustments for absolutely no cost? I'm going to show you exactly what we did so you can copy it next time you're with a client. Let's go check it out. This client was requesting a new chair because they've outgrown it and they just had spinal surgery. And when you have spinal surgery, you just outgrow chairs generally because you're taller. But in this case, I'm not sure if we actually needed to change it. So let's have a look at what's going on here. Whenever we're doing any wheelchair adjustment, we want to do 3 main things. We want to fix whatever's wrong with the chair. Then we want to reposition the person while they're in the chair. And then we want to do any adjustments while they're in the chair based on how they're now sitting. And that's exactly what we did. But in order to do that, we found a few issues. So to fix what's wrong with the chair, we first found out that the cushion was in the wrong spot. So you can see the cushion is backwards, the logo's at the back, which doesn't always tell you it's the wrong way. Sometimes the cover's the wrong way around. But the real tell is the contours. The leg contours are at the back. So first thing we have to do is make sure the cushion is the right way around. The second thing I noticed was actually quite unusual. You can notice here that the seat pan is the wrong way around. And I can tell because the cushion should stop here where the leg rests are. So the cushion can't go any further than those leg rest hangers. So that, that's like the stop, that's the end of it. And so anything in front of that is like excess metal. So really these notch cutouts are usually for the back canes. So you can have the metal go a bit further beyond the back canes. But you definitely don't want it here because then it rubs on people's calves. So that's another thing we had to do. We had to fix that one up. The other thing we had to fix up was the belt. Now the belt's not in a bad position, but it's not in the best position. It's going over her greater trochanter, so your GTs over here. We want it in front of them. And then the mum also said that the belt was too tight, so she wanted it looser because it's uncomfortable. And I can imagine why it would be uncomfortable because you need to have your belt snug, but you don't want to have it snug if it's uncomfortable. So we also had to change the belt, which I'll show you what we did there. And then we also, with her hips as well, she's a bit further forward in the chair than we needed to be. So there's still a bit of extra cushion here at the back. So we want to utilize that. And that's what we did by bringing the backrest a bit further back. And I'll give you a sneak peek of how it looked in the end. Look at that. So now we're using the whole length of the cushion right there. We're not all the way back. We're not using everything. And then we're going all the way back into the chair. The next thing we also had to look at was the legs. So the foot plates were too high, which causes her legs to externally rotate. And then we get rubbing along the legs over here. And then the foot plates were also not accommodating her contracture. So whether she did this before or after, now she has a contracture in her feet where her feet are pointing down. And so right now, the only use she's getting on the chair is the tippy toes. So you want a nice even pressure on her feet over there. And so there you can see the rubbing on her legs. So we don't want that. The last thing I want to look at is the headrest. So from you can see the headrest, this is like a shoulder rest. The headrest is so low and in the wrong position that we need to fix it. So what did we do? Let's go have a look at it. And whenever we look at adjustments, we want to follow a process. We want to go from hips, then look at the legs, then look at the torso, then look at the head. Let's see exactly how we did it. So what we've done here first is made sure the cushion is the right way around. We also had to flip the seat pan because this chair was originally built with the seat pan the wrong way around. So there was metal work coming out here that we didn't want. And now we don't have that, so it's sitting beautifully. So cushion is the right way around. We've also fixed the pelvis by putting the belt in a better position. And we now know that the belt needs to be snug in order to stop her from sliding forward. Now that we have the hips positioned well, we can reposition them and sit them in nicely. By doing that, we actually found out there was a bit of extra cushion sitting back here. So we put the cushion where it needs to be and we moved the backrest back. So now we are using the cushion in its entirety. We don't even need to go along the cushion. So we're just using the full length of the cushion. We did consider using a pelvic block to stop any posterior tilt, but we have a spinal fusion surgery, so it's not going to do much. That is quite stiff. It's not going to do anything except make her uncomfortable. We've pushed the backrest back. We've given her a bit more recline on there as well. We've got the hips sorted. Don't need to do anything to the laterals because she has a fused spine now. But with the legs, we were much higher sitting up here, and that was causing rubbing on our legs. So we've lowered the foot plates, but also because we have some contractures going on here in our feet, we also accommodated that by having the foot plates angled a bit more down. We have advised that ankle foot orthotics would be a good idea to prevent any worsening of these feet, because once they get worse and worse, it's going to make a lot of things harder, pressure-wise, dressing-wise, putting shoes on-wise. So we want to make sure that we maintain a decent range within the feet over there. And then what else did we do? We also did the headrest. So the headrest was just in the wrong position, but once we tilted her back, adjusted it where it needs to be. And that is pretty much the chair. Last thing we'll do is just check the backrest to make sure it still clips off nicely, because we did some adjustments. Once we've done that, we are good to go.